Hey there guys, this is Sam
and Justin
at the Survival Review, and today we are going to be talking about the brand new film in the Halloween series, Halloween.
the most original title ever.
Yeah, I gotta love it when they do that shit.
So, I think I've mentioned this more than a couple times on this channel that I'm kind of obsessed with Halloween.
And I enjoy Halloween quite a bit. Mostly the first movie, but I've got some love for the sequels too.
And I think I also mentioned this in my, I did a video talking about the trailer and stuff like that. That initially I wasn't really looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
But the trailers kind of convinced me a little more, and the talent behind it did. Yeah. So I actually went into this one pretty hyped.
I wouldn't say it was super hyped. I went in with expectations that it wasn't going to be terrible. Yeah. And it met those expectations pretty well.
Yeah, because after getting out of the movie, it's solid.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I was entertained decently well enough. It's basically as good as you should expect Halloween 2 to be.
Yeah, because there's really not a whole lot you can do with the Halloween franchise. And this movie shows that, but it's executed well enough and is solidly entertaining with an asterisk at the end there.
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, it definitely has its flaws.
For sure. But it's not the worst thing ever. It's not frustrating. It's just a slasher sequel. If you go into it expecting anything more than that, sure, you'll be disappointed, but why would you expect more than that from it?
So the plot of this movie, it's 40 years after the events of the original Halloween, and somehow Michael Myers got caught at the end of the original Halloween, even though we never saw that. Yeah. But he got caught and he's been locked up for 40 years. And then we see Laurie Strode, who has not taken that situation very well.
No, she's just become kind of like a militant person, whatever.
Sarah Connor, basically.
Yeah, she's Sarah Connor.
She's estranged from her daughter and her granddaughter. She's living alone in this house that's all booby-trapped, and there's a secret cellar with a bunch of weapons, because she's just waiting for the day for him to break out so she can kill him. And some people think she's crazy, which she kind of is. She's a little unstable in the first half. But while that's happening, literally conveniently, Michael Myers is going to be transferred to another hospital the day before Halloween.
You can use conveniently about 40 times in this script.
Yeah.
Because, it's a Halloween sequel. Obviously, it has to take place on Halloween.
Yeah.
Michael Myers has to get out. It's just the same thing as the first one.
Which I really liked that first half. Actually.
Yeah, for the most part, the pacing in the first half, it's got this kind of build up to it.
It does, yeah. It takes its time. It's not like Michael Myers doesn't break out in the second scene.
No.
There's a reason why this movie is actually an hour and 40 minutes long and not just a quick 90 minutes.
Yeah, because it's kind of taking its time to sort of build things up and actually lead to some scares.
Yeah. I like that a lot. Now, what really did work about this movie was the direction.
Yes. David
David Gordon Green, who is the last person you would expect to direct a Halloween movie.
Yeah, of all things. The guy who made Pineapple Express and Joe did this. Good movies, but you wouldn't expect them to make a film like this.
And it's very well directed. There's a lot of really good shots, a lot of really good lighting, and use of the lights from cars that are shining red and kind of stuff like that.
Some good use of shadow and keeping things out of view and then bringing them into view.
Yeah.
Just some good horror stuff. Nothing crazy.
It's a lot classier than what you would kind of expect. What we really appreciate about this movie is that it doesn't come off as just a thrown together studio film like the Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street remakes.
This very much feels like a movie just made by a group of guys that really like the old Halloween movies.
Yeah. Like you basically said, it's like a big budget Halloween fan film.
Yeah.
That just so happened to get Jamie Lee Curtis to be in there.
Yeah, they just got a big budget and Jamie Lee Curtis, and it feels like a movie made by some teenagers almost, but better than that.
But people with definite love and affection to not just Halloween but also the franchise. Because even though this movie throws out all the sequels, it still makes references to them. There's a few references here and there.
Still some nods.
Yeah.
Which we appreciate.
Oh yeah. There's a Halloween 3 nod, and I like that a lot.
Yeah. So all that stuff and the style of the movie is great. Yeah. More of the issues come into play with the writing, which, as we said, for the most part, it's kind of copy-paste. There's some weird stuff that comes into play.
There's some stuff before we get to the weird stuff in the movie, all of the stuff with the teenagers in this movie almost feels like an afterthought.
Yeah.
They really want to tell this story about Laurie Strode and her family and the town with the sheriff character trying to deal with this thing, but then they're oh, we also do need some teenagers to get killed. So that stuff happens, and it's really quick. It's really kind of glossed over.
Yeah.
And not much of it gets development, and including one kind of major part that involves Laurie's granddaughter that really has no payoff in the end.
Yeah, pretty much everything with the granddaughter. She's got this boyfriend character.
Yeah.
Everything with that boyfriend is completely, you could toss it in the bin.
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. I didn't realize this till I walked out of the movie. I'm like, wait, nothing happened with that.
He just kind of disappears from the movie at a certain point.
Yeah.
And there's no repercussions to anything that he did with that whole storyline.
No.
So it's just it didn't need to be there. It felt a little padding.
Very kind of glossed over, very kind of quick.
Yeah.
And then also, there's this thing that's been a lot of issue with a lot of movies lately. Comedy.
Yeah. Now, David Gordon Green, primarily, I guess, known for making comedies.
Yeah. And Danny McBride, who co-wrote this movie.
Yeah. So you can kind of see where that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie has a decent amount of attempts at comedy that just either feel very out of place or just don't land at all.
Yeah, there's some stuff that's fun. There's a couple bits here and there that are chuckle-worthy. There's this one kid character. The writers, they thought they struck gold with this character.
They thought he was the funniest shit. If they just toned it down a bit and left it to, a couple lines that were for comedic effect, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
But it gets to the point where it definitely is kind of an issue.
It is, yeah. So one thing that's kind of both a positive and a negative is Michael Myers. Now, performance-wise, he's great.
Yeah, he's perfect.
The actor who plays him is spectacular. The mask still looks friggin' amazing.
Yes.
And it's probably the best mask since the original. It looks fantastic. His performance is great. There's a lot of great moments with him in there that's really effective and really good. But I don't feel like he was utilized as much or as well as he could have.
Yeah, there were a lot of sequences where it's okay, you're setting up this cool sort of kill scene. And it just doesn't really play out very well.
No, there's a death scene that takes place outside a house with motion sensor lights, which is the perfect setup for a Michael Myers kill.
Yeah.
And
it just kind of comes and goes.
Yeah.
And isn't really, it kind of leaves you wanting more.
Yeah. When the scene first started, I was like, okay, this should be interesting.
This is going to be great.
And then it happened, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Alright.
Pretty much all the kills were okay.
There wasn't as much really suspense with it.
Yeah.
I like good moments of Michael Myers stalking people, of him kind of appearing in the back out of focus and stuff like that. And there really wasn't much of that.
Most of the suspense really comes in the third act.
Yeah.
Toward the climax. And all of that works pretty well.
Yeah. But there is one scene that's actually really well done. It's all done in one take.
Yeah.
And it's just a scene of him just kind of walking through the town. And, a few deaths here and there occur. But it's really well done. It's really effective. I like that scene a lot.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Again, just some good style being incorporated into it.
Yeah.
You could tell that there was actually some craft behind it.
Yeah, and also it adds one of the elements I just love about Michael Myers, the fact that he's the only slasher villain that could just walk around in plain sight of everybody.
Yes.
And no one would blink an eye.
Yeah.
And I always loved that about him. That always what's made him so creepy. That one dude you're walking past on Halloween while trick-or-treating could be a killer.
Yep.
And they play into that a lot in that one scene. I thought it was done very well.
Yeah, and that's what makes these movies work, and that's what made this one work.
Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis, who is kind of the one thing that a lot of people were excited about going into this movie. I never really was.
I could care less. It's just
honestly, me too.
when I heard that they were getting, Jamie Lee Curtis is back.
Yeah.
It's we've had her back three times.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes in here that I think they were looking for some dramatic weight of seeing Han Solo in Force Awakens, where it's oh, he's back, how cool is that? But it doesn't work, at least for diehard Halloween fans, because this is the 5th time we've seen her in these movies.
So it's just okay,
cool.
She's here again.
But she was really good. I liked the kind of stuff with her in the beginning, where she was really damaged, kind of screwed up. So I thought she was good. I really enjoyed her, though. She kind of gets lost in the middle half of the movie.
Yeah, there's a point in the movie where, it just kind of goes to a bunch of different stories with the teenagers and Michael killing, and she just kind of isn't there for a while.
She pops up a couple of spots, oh, we have to go stop him, and then next scene. But when she was there, I really liked it.
Yes, I agree. I kind of do like the idea that she just became super paranoid and was totally damaged by this. It worked well enough, especially again toward the third act.
Yeah, the third act was really well done. It was really effective.
All that stuff paid off really well.
Yeah, it did.
I don't know the name of the actress.
Judy Greer.
Judy Greer, who plays Karen.
Yeah, Laurie's daughter.
Exactly.
And normally she's a fine actress. She does decent performances and stuff.
She fucking sucks in this, man.
Yeah.
Like, really bad.
Yeah, she was just very, like, almost monotone at times. It wasn't, like...
Well, not even almost monotone. She has this monologue
Yeah.
where she's talking about my childhood. And
basically how, like, her childhood was screwed. Because basically, she was, like, how Sarah Connor treated John Connor. Like, she just, like, she didn't give her a childhood. She just, like, prepared her for this.
Yes.
It's the exact same thing from, like, Terminator.
Yeah.
So she's all like, oh, that was my childhood. I didn't really have one.
Except she doesn't emote.
No.
she just says the lines, and I'm like, really? That was the best take that you had?
Yeah. Like I said, she's a fine actress and other stuff we've seen her in, but, like, in this one, no.
No.
Not really.
Give her the thumbs down. Sorry.
Yeah.
Katie.
And we're not going to spoil it.
Yeah.
But there is kind of a twist, a little turn that happens near the end of this movie.
And it's really stupid.
It's stupid as hell.
But you can kind of tell that they knew it was stupid because it's brushed over in like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's put in there and you're like, oh, is this where this movie's going?
Yeah.
And then they basically reverse it.
Like, yeah, whatever.
Like, yeah, whatever.
But when it happened, like, I was just like, no.
We were both laughing.
Yeah, there was a couple of shots in there where we started laughing at it.
Yeah, which...
Like, it's almost like, because it involves, like, a certain character who very much feels like it's kind of like an equivalent of a character from the original Halloween.
Yes.
And it feels like they were trying to, like, subvert their expectations. Like, they're like, oh, we have this type of character in this movie, but wait, they're different. And then they're like, yeah, no, that doesn't work, let's just forget about it. So it's like, you can complain about it because it's dumb, but it happens so quick that it's like, alright, whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we can say this movie's a mixed bag.
A very mixed bag. For me, it's disappointing because the parts of it that I like are kind of pulled down a little bit by the negatives, and it makes me just wish, like, if they had just tightened things up with the script a little more and done this could have been really great.
Because especially when it works, it really works.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to say that, like, because I have a lot of affection towards, like, the rest of the franchise. But I feel like if it had, like, the script was tweaked and a little bit better, it could easily be, like, the best one since the original.
Yeah.
I mean, the best one starring Michael Myers since the original.
Yes. Because Halloween 3 will always be the best sequel.
Yes, it will. And the best part of the movie, the part that we were, like, the most anticipated for, the part that we couldn't wait for.
And the part that didn't disappoint even slightly.
No.
Is the score.
Yes. Yes. John Carpenter came back to do the score, and it's fantastic.
Easily the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
If you don't want to see the movie, if you just don't care, just listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's solid.
It is. It's great. There's certain scenes where it's highlighted more, and it's done to such great effects that it's like, oh, that's amazing. And
yeah.
John Carpenter has to score more movies.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, a lot of the classic score in there, of course, but some new stuff as well that just works perfectly.
There is. It's not just kind of recycling the old themes. They do those throughout because, like, of course they will, but, like, it doesn't rely on that, which is great.
Yeah, and some of the new themes were, like, as good, if not better than some of the originals.
Yeah, it was. It was just great.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yes. So overall, like we were saying, mixed bag of a movie.
Yeah, I think Justin liked it a little more than I did. It's not bad. I didn't hate it, didn't love it. Worth a watch if you're a big fan of Halloween.
Oh yeah, if you're a fan of Halloween, definitely check it out. But I say go in with your expectations in check. Because I feel like they kind of hyped this one up a lot. Yeah. And there's a lot of kind of hype going into it. And I say don't go into it expecting that. And you'll have a solid time.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's around Halloween.
Yeah.
What else are you going to go to the theater to watch?
And it's just nice to see Halloween back. It's nice to see an actual Halloween movie. Like, I've never really been around for the release of a new Halloween movie. Like, yeah, I was alive when, like, H2O and Resurrection came out, but I was little, I didn't give a crap. And I was around for Rob Zombies, which I did see, but those don't really count. And it was nice to be around for, like, an actual Halloween movie. It was nice.
Yeah, it was a good experience.
Yeah.
I don't regret seeing it.
No, it's just not great.
Mild recommendation. But that's not all we're going to say about Halloween as far as that series goes.
No, we have some more to say about this franchise.
Yeah. So, until next time, we'll see you guys later.